Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And so it's that time of the week, guys. And so going to be doing my week 5 predictions for each and every team here. So let's go ahead and jump right into it right now as we have a lot of games. So I'm really got to put a lot of thought into in terms of who I think is going to win. And we're going to start with none other than the New England Patriots versus the Houston Texans. And so that game, obviously, Mac Jones coming off of his best passing performance of the season. So, he's gaining some confidence. I saw a quarterback who stood in the pocket, took some hits in a big game with the spotlight being there, but he rose to the occasion. Of course, his team did lose, but, that was more so in the kicker. But, Mac Jones, he played one heck of a game. I expect the Patriots to come out here, try to establish the ground game. Houston's still going to keep it, remotely. Like, the Patriots offense is not going to score more than, I think, maybe 23 points at most. But because they have Davis Mills in the quarterback, and we know how Bill Belichick is against rookie quarterbacks, I've got the Patriots winning this one down in Houston, 23 to 6. Patriots win 23-6 over the Houston Texans. All right, next up, you've got the Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry, I expect Julio Jones, that he should be back this week. At least that's the anticipation that I'm anticipating here. A.J. Brown, probably not so. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is a game that could very well be a good one, but at the end of the day, I think the Titans find a way to win, and I think it's going to be Titans 29. I've got Jaguars scoring probably about, I'll say 29-20. So I'll go with that. I know last week I projected that the Titans would beat the Jets in a close one. And, Jets won that one, but, ultimately it's going to come down to, this Titans offense. They're running the ball. It's just, getting your guys back, being healthy and stuff. And then whenever you play a division opponent, just throw records out the door and all like that. The Jaguars are going to be up for this one, but the Titans find a way to win on the road thanks to King Henry. All right, Broncos versus Steelers. Oh, man. I know that the Broncos coming fresh off of that loss in the AFC West, going down to Pittsburgh. Just going down to Heinz Field, that's going to be a good matchup there, one that I'm really looking forward to seeing. We know Teddy Bridgewater left the last game with a concussion. But in this game right here, right now, Ben Roethlisberger, he's got to find a way to step it up from here for this offense. Najee Harris, he's been looking pretty good. But I think I'm going to rock with the I'm actually going to take I'm going to go with the Broncos. I thought about the Steelers for a second, but I'm going to go Broncos win this one. And I'm going to go Broncos win with the final score of 20-10. That defense ends up being the difference in this game. All right, Browns versus the Chargers. Oh, man, what a matchup. Two teams that I've been very high on this year. You've got the Cleveland Browns. You've got the Chargers fresh off of their big win against the Raiders. Browns, over the Vikings here. I think that this one ends up being a similar game to what we saw with the Vikings and Browns in terms of just the defense, keeping it close. But I think I'm going to go Chargers win 20-17 over the Browns, 20-17. This is actually the first home team that I've selected so far this week. But I can obviously see a case for the Cleveland Browns in this one. Believe me, I certainly know that they are very capable of doing it, especially with that ground game. But I'm just going to say Chargers at home here, they keep it going. Speaking of being at home, that primetime matchup, nighttime, you're talking about the Bills and the Chiefs. The Chiefs right now, I feel like right now this team has a sense of urgency in terms of must-win football because they see what's happening in the division around them. The problem is, however, they're playing the one team that you probably don't want to play right now, the Buffalo Bills right now. And so I know the Chiefs added Josh Gordon. We'll see what type of role he ends up playing. And I know going down to Arrowhead, that is not going to be easy at all. But I think this is going to be more so about Josh Allen than anything else and what he's going to be able to do. I expect Stephon Diggs to have a big game. I say Buffalo wins this one with the final score being Buffalo 32, Kansas City 29. So Buffalo wins this one in a close one. And that'd be really big for the Bills to go on the road and beat Kansas City. And so you've got the Indianapolis Colts versus the Baltimore Ravens here. The Colts, they really need to find a way to get another win here. And then you've got the Baltimore Ravens. You saw what they did to the Broncos there. It's going to be one of those games where I'm looking forward to seeing Lamar Jackson versus this Colts defense. Ultimately, I think the Ravens, they'll just, they'll do too much at the end of the day to win this one. I got Ravens winning with the final score being 20, I'll say 26-17 Ravens. All right, next up, you've got the Jets. Zach Wilson's coming off his first win, as a pro, and a shocker against the Tennessee Titans. And he's going on the road to the Atlanta Falcons, a team that found a way to lose. Actually, this game's going to be in London. Yeah, this game's going to be in London, so that's important to remember that it's going to be a neutral game right here. So Zach Wilson, coming off of his better game. I mean, you've got Jamison Crowder back, so you've got some positive things to look for. And the best part is that you're going against the Atlanta Falcons and that defense. And so, I mean, obviously, when this offense gets going for Atlanta, they can find a way to really get it going. But they found a way to lose to the Washington football team in the game, which they should have won. And I expect that this one could potentially be a close one. However, I think that right now, what I'm seeing, I like what I saw from Zach Wilson, being on neutral territory. Atlanta finds a way to lose this one, is what I'm saying. Jets find a way to win this one. If you'd asked me last week, I'd have went with the Falcons, but I say Jets win. Final score being along the lines of 30-27. And so there you go. All right, Packers, Bengals. This is a game where on first glance you look at it and you say, okay, the Packers should have no problem with this one. I think the Bengals are going to show up ready to play. I do still think that the Packers, though, are the better team, and I think that the Packers win this one. Final score being Green Bay. I'll go Green Bay 33. I think the Bengals get about 24, about 33-24. I go Green Bay Packers here. Aaron Rodgers just has a spectacular day ultimately and wins it. Dolphins versus Buccaneers here. Obviously, Jacoby Brissett being in for the Dolphins. That we saw what they looked like last year. I mean, last game against the Colts wasn't looking all that impressive. Will Fuller, he's out again. And then you've got Tom Brady. He's going to be upset with his performance that he did not score a touchdown against the Patriots. Expect for him to try to make up for it here in this one. And so I've got Buccaneers winning this one. Final score being Tampa Bay. I'll go Tampa Bay scores 29. Dolphins end up scoring 13, something like that, 29-13. Buccaneers. All right, so we've got the Bears versus the Raiders. This is a good one here, but it sounds like Andy Dalton is getting closer and closer to returning. Knowing Matt Nagy, he's probably going to put Andy Dalton in, and if that's the case, then I definitely do like the Raiders for sure to win this one. Although this could be a very close one, but I've got Raiders winning 23-17 in this one. Fresh off of that loss to the Chargers, first loss of the season, expect them to rebound at home and win a close one, 23-17. Speaking of close ones, the Rams versus the Seahawks. 2 weeks ago, everybody was saying the Rams was the best team in football. Let the cards show them up, and now we're back to just how good are these Rams? And going on the road to the Seahawks, I mean, we're talking about Thursday night football. This is what I want for Thursday night football. We're talking about the Rams and the Seahawks here. So, I mean, the Seahawks right now, they don't want to lose, because if they lose this game, they're in danger of falling to last place in the division. So they really don't want to do that. And as for the Rams, they definitely want to win. They don't want to lose and be at that cluster, competing for the bottom as well. Problem is, I think the Seahawks actually find a way to win this game right now. I feel like the Rams defense isn't playing up to their potential yet. Rams offenses look fantastic, but I think we're going to expect to see, I think we're going to have a big night from the Seahawks in this one. Russell Wilson's going to show up. He's going to show out. I've got the Seahawks winning this one. Final score being Seahawks 28, Rams 27. Now, I know very well the Rams can very well win that game. They very well can. But I'm going to go Seahawks here. All right, here we go. The Saints versus the Washington football team. So the Saints, I mean, you beat the Patriots, and a lot of people thought the Patriots were going to beat you, and then you turn around and you lose to the Giants in overtime. However, I think that right now the Washington football team, they've shown me that they are really struggling right now. They should have lost to Atlanta. They have a lot of injuries right now. So I have to lean with the Saints in this one. I think the Saints are going to find a way to win on the road. I mean, right now, those injuries on the Washington football team, those are some key injuries, and we'll continue to monitor those situations. But I'm going to have to go with the Saints on this one. Now, if the Washington football team finds a way to win this one, that'd be good. But right now, I'm starting to have little concerns about this Washington football team. The defense isn't looking as good as I thought they were going to look this year. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, Detroit versus the Vikings. And so I think this is a game right here for the Vikings where we can see, a lot of heavy dose of their star playmakers on offense, whether we're talking Dalvin Cook or, Justin Jefferson. I think they're going to have big games here. I think the Vikings win this one. Final score being Vikings 42, Detroit 31. So 42-31. I think that Minnesota Vikings come out and have one of probably their best performance of the season in this game offensively, I'm thinking. All right, so we've got the Eagles and the Panthers. A game that if you look at it just off of records and stuff, you're thinking, okay, Carolina can run away with this one. But if you look at the matchup really closely, you start to think, okay, maybe this one might get it. It might have an opportunity to be a little close if the Eagles show up ready to play. But I still got the Panthers winning this one, even without Christian McCaffrey. I think Carolina showed me in that Dallas game they can move the ball. I was impressed with what I'm seeing from Sam Darnold. He's doing what I thought he was going to do in terms of, before the season, just showing his best football yet. So I've got the Panthers winning this one at home. Final score being Carolina 29, Philadelphia. I'll give Philadelphia about 20 points, so 29-20 Panthers. All right, so here we go. The Giants and the Cowboys. This one's going to be a lot closer than people think. This is going to be a real nice rivalry game to watch here. And so I've got to rock with the Cowboys on this one. I think the Cowboys win this one. Final score being Dallas 30, Giants 22. Fresh off of their overtime win against the Saints. It's going to be a close one, I think, but Cowboys find a way to win. Speaking of close ones, you have the 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. And so this is obviously a big game for the 49ers because they really don't want to lose this one. Problem is Arizona Cardinals are playing red hot right now. I think Arizona finds a way to win this game. I think it's going to be the final score of Arizona. I'll go Arizona 31, San Francisco. I'll go about 20, 31-20. So I've got the Cardinals in that one. So there you have it, guys. Again, there's a lot of games that honestly, I could not blame you guys if you guys have different teams for a lot of these matchups, but definitely I feel that there could be a strong case, especially for the Chiefs going down to Arrowhead at nighttime. That could be a dangerous game. That could be, it could very well turn into a shootout. It could be a shootout back and forth, just depending on who gets the ball last. That's one. Another one, I feel like the Atlanta Falcons as well. They have a very good opportunity against the Jets. Also, same with Chicago Bears, especially if Justin Fields does get the start. But I'm going to anticipate that Andy Dalton's going to find a way to be back out there. And, yeah, I think the Raiders just find a way to win that one. Certainly can understand anybody who says the Rams are going to win that one. Like, I 1,000% could see that being the case for real with that one. And so just going through some of the teams here, for real. I mean, I would not be shocked if the 49ers won. But yeah, right now they got to figure out some things on offense. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in for my predictions here. Of course, I want to hear from you guys in terms of, some games that maybe you feel could lean the other way, or just, some score projections, what picks did you guys like, stuff like that in the comment. I mean, as always, as long as you're respectful, hey, I'm all for it. So there you go. And guys, have a great day as we're getting that much more closer now to the start of week 5 in the NFL season, guys. Take care and enjoy the rest of your week.